That is exactly what Sounders FC2 will face today here at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, as they host Reno 1868 FC, a team that is riding a 14-match unbeaten streak to fourth place in the Western Conference. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on ESPN+. I'm Andrew Harvey, alongside James Riley and Dave Clark. And James, right now, Sounders 2 in a bit of a troubling spot, and we're in a poor run of form, and they also got some very bad news about one of their best players.
They did. Narbonne did fracture his fibula and tibia in the challenge received on the previous game. Fortunately, he did undergo successful surgery, so we all wish him a very speedy recovery. He's definitely a critical part of this team, and he's received an outpour of support, and so we wish him a speedy recovery. Yeah,
the reaction from the community has been great to see. Looking at this match, Reno 1868 is a high-flying, high-powered offensive team. And Dave, as we look at Reno, who jumps off the page for you?
Antoine Hoppenot, you might remember, as a Philadelphia Union draft pick. Last year with Reno 1868, he had 12 goals scored. This year, he's the provider with 8 assists, who look to influence games in multiple ways. He's clearly capable of affecting this game, and he's connecting with Blair Brown quite well. Brown has 7 goals.
Hoppenot switching to more of a facilitator role this season. James, despite all the bad news from Thursday's 2-0 loss to Swope Park, there was a bright spot, and you felt that was Shannon Hopiau.
Yeah, Shannon Hopiau, for me, is a player that's capable of taking guys on 1v1, especially on the right flanks. I feel that's where S2 can really exploit teams. They just have to be able to go to that side, to his side consistently. And he, at the same time, needs to be able to demand the ball, be able to take guys on, go inside, go outside, get to the byline, get some services in. So for me, he's a guy that's capable, love his frame, love his athletic ability to have bright moments. I just want to see that consistently throughout the game.
It should be another great afternoon for soccer here in Tacoma. We're excited to bring it to you. Don't go away. Kickoff, Sounders FC2 taking on Reno 1868 FC, coming up next on ESPN+. Welcome back to our coverage of Sounders FC2 taking on Reno 1868 FC here at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington on ESPN+. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark and James Riley. Gentlemen, let's get right into the starting 11 for both these clubs, beginning with the visiting Reno 1868. Dave?
You'll want to pay particular attention to Joel Kleberg. He's on loan down from the San Jose Earthquakes. Their head coach brought him in. He's a Swedish player, has some experience in their lower leagues. Paul Maria, over at right back, is somebody who creates from the back. He has 2 assists, tied for second on the team.
James, as we look at S2 starting lineup, the return of Sam Rogers after a lengthy bout with illness, got to be glad to see him back in the 11.
Absolutely, Sam Rogers, great player. He'll look to slot right into a new formation that's been announced, more of a 3-4-2-1 possibly for S2. So look for him to be one of the back 3, possibly on the right side, but a very influential player. Look for him to have a solid game today.
Your referee is Mike Hohenholtz, assistant referees Cephas Kortzen and Saya McGee. The 4th official is Gustavo Caicedo. We are all set to go here at Cheney Stadium. David Estrada, S2's leading goal scorer, 7 to his name. Tying Brian Brown for Reno 1868 is over the ball and is awaiting Mike Hohenholtz's whistle. Hohenholz just making sure that the final preparations are in order. And that right there is a look at Gio Miglietti, central midfielder who was tapped to come in for his fellow central midfielder Francisco Narbonne after he went down with injury in Thursday's match against Swope Park. Acquitted himself rather well despite being an academy player asked to play out of position.
He did. I mean, it's all about development. That's the sound S2's methodologies to get young players that deserve it into big games with the S2, and they've done so. And he had his opportunity through a very unfortunate injury to a stalwart for S2, Narbonne, but he stepped in and did admirably well for a young player.
That is Miglietti with the bicycle kick forward ball. Further along from Burt Gilroy. And Gabe Threadgold is upended that time, as is Burt Gilroy. Play continues all the same.
Be interesting to see how the back line, it's going to be a back three for S2. Communication is key, 1v1 defending is key, and getting help from your midfield line is critical as well in closing down passing lanes.
Dave, we had a chance to talk to Sounders 2 assistant head coach Wade Weber before this match, and they talked about the decision about who was going to play in which part of that three-man back line of Rogers, LA, and Briscoe.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is they wanted Rogers in a wide position of that three-man back line so he could drive forward more frequently. Of the three, he's the one that's best with the ball at his feet. But Kai Briscoe recently earned honors in the best 11 of the Western Conference from the academy. We've seen him at right back and right center back out here already with S2.
Paul Marie winning a throw-in along the near sideline. Reno 1868 in white with blue accents, moving from left to right on your screen here in the first half. Sounders 2 in their rave green come back the other way, and that's a pretty good deflection by Mike Hohenholz, our referee. But Kai Briscoe gets back on top of it. And James, I'm sure you've had many a deflection off a referee during the course of your career.
Yes, it was good. They great reactions off that unfortunate misdirect, but great reactions by the young player, so that's a good start.
Daly trying to move it along to Denzo Ulyssi. James, that's something that is kind of encouraging about this formation switch into the 3-4-2-1 for Sounders 2, as it frees up Denzo Ulyssi, who's got great pace on the flank, to really, get the green light and get himself forward.
It does. It gives him an opportunity to be up higher up the field, which is good. Get some balls whipped into the box, support the attack more. He definitely has the range to get up and down the sideline, so look for him to have an active game today as well.
Threadgold, the nifty interception, lays it off for Estrada. Burt Gilroy drifting out wide. Reno recovering well in defense. Now it's Miglietti. Ulyssi unable to hold it in on the near sideline. Still pretty good read from Sounders Academy product Gabe Threadgold to spark what could have been an opportunity there.
It was good placement, good positioning to anticipate. Great interception, builds confidence early on. He had an active game on Thursday. I look for him to build on that tonight or this afternoon.
Zach Carroll going downfield with that ball. Another Reno throw-in. Carroll back to Marcinowski, the keeper. Long ball up toward Brown, and Brown's drawn a free kick.
With this early formation so far, I like how the midfield is clogged for S2. They have a number of bodies in the midfield, sometimes 5 to 6 in the center of the park. Very good. Most often, if you can dictate play through the midfield, you can grab hold of the game.
It's interesting, too, because Burt Gilroy and Daly were brought in, and we were told they were more defensive midfielders. So putting those two in kind of that attacking band means that the S2 press can be more effective today than maybe it has been in the past.
Yep.
So another look at the foul there. Just a little bit of a clip on the back of the heel from Kai Briscoe. Leads to this opportunity for Reno 1868. Queberg going out wide. Ball served in the middle toward Brown, directed toward net, and offside. The flag up from assistant referee Cephas Quartzen on the near sideline.
Very fortunate there for the offside flags. That's the vulnerability of a backman three in the back line. I played it in my first 3 years with New England Revolution. We played a 3-5-2. The back three have to be very good individually, one, at shutting down their opponent when they're individual duels, but also communication is absolutely vital because they're going against 3v2. So if we have two forwards, that's where the challenge is.
Particularly challenging because we're on short rest here and using guys that haven't played together in some time, with Rogers returning the back line and Briscoe.
Absolutely.
Ball shoveled away at midfield. 5 minutes gone here at Cheney Stadium. Just another perfect afternoon for soccer.
Beautiful. It is. We had a chance to walk the field. Kudos to the field crew. Field looks to be in immaculate shape. They wet it before the game, which is always good for players, increases the pace of the game. Fantastic, beautiful venue for some Sunday afternoon soccer.
Marie down the line with that ball. Brown up for the header. Briscoe as well. Miglietti with the second ball. Both teams just trying to settle it at the moment. Winds up back with Carroll.
It's good for S2. Look how many bodies are around in the midfield, hunting the ball together. It's fantastic.
Threadgold picks up this ball. Cut back cross here. Estrada inside the box. And he's tied up by Carroll and eventually dispossessed.
A number of bodies. They're hunting it well. They're getting 3 to 4 guys in the box when they have serving opportunities. Good momentum to build on. Good, hard challenge there.
Rodrigue LA is many things, Dave, but one of the things he's not is scared of anything or anyone.
He definitely plays to his size, too. He uses that to his advantage. It's nice seeing him out there. I like the Rave Green cast or splint that he still has on from when he had the hand surgery.
Denzo Ulysses does enough to win a throw-in for his side. You know, I had a chance to ask LA, because he broke his hand in about the 13th minute of the match when it happened and stayed on for the remainder of the full 90. I asked him later, LA, when did you realize my hand was broken? He said, oh, about 20 minutes after the match was over.
That's the adrenaline.
Rogers heads it back in. Felipe, the injured party there. Reno restarts quickly. Ball over the top, trying to work his way in here. Touch too far, gets to LA. That was Chris Wehan. And the resulting ball caught by Callie Brown. Brown near side for Threadgold. Estrada was trying to get that redirect going. He does love that move, doesn't he, James?
He does, very good at it. Obviously, we're playing right now without a true 9, so his hold-up play is good for his size, uses his body well, and is able to have expert flicks when called upon.
Briscoe wanted Daly up the line. Picked away by Janjagin.
And we spoke about it Thursday. S2's ability to connect passes out of transition is critical. If they can connect their first 2 to 3 passes, it allows them to develop a rhythm. And their best chances came off of sustained possession on Thursday. Just being able to pass and move, play the open man. The simplicity of it, it sounds simple, but it's powerful because it allows you to help dictate the rhythm of the game, allows you to rest with the ball a bit, and creates avenues as you shift and passing lanes as you shift the defense around.
Briscoe waiting to take that throw. Wanted Burt Gilroy, because Sipley got himself in the way. Mafeka applying pressure to Daly. Now turned over to Hopino. Back for Mafeka. They wanted Wean on the far side. Sam Rogers was there. Miglietti, well-weighted ball for Denzo Ulysses. Being closed down by Queeberg. First touch, cut back cross to Estrada. He turns once more to Daly. And that's Felipe.
Great win there by LA.
Very sorry, the man in the captain's armband gets it back. Now Daly. Wider still for Ulysses. A give and go. Ulysses in and he's off. It looked to be a close call, but assistant referee Sia McGee on the far side had a pretty good look at it.
Very close. Great combination play. Simple 1-2. Daly plays it, supports Ulysses, who has a fantastic idea to just play simple 1-2. That's what we need more of. Those simple combination plays on the flank can definitely unlock a sturdy defense.
Now a similar looking ball for Wian on the far side. Rogers is there applying the pressure. Wian cut back on his right. Ellie intercepts, and Rogers deals it away.
It'd be a good test for Rogers. Normally a center back, he's going to be pulled out and isolated quite a bit in a three-man back line. So his ability to defend when isolated on an island will be put to test today.
Marie throwing it for Hopino. Ball chipped over everyone's head. Wian gives chase and will keep it in on the far side. Queberg. Carroll. Oh, pardon me, that was Janjagin. Now it's Marie. Kasipli. Mafeka. Reno looking to see if there's a gap in this coordinated S2 defense. Marie gets a touch around thread gold there and has some room to work. Options on the cross, and Sam Rogers makes sure that it doesn't find anyone but him.
But again, by Reno, very good sustained possession. Allowed them to get isolated on the flank. Right, it takes one person to not move accordingly in synchronized in the defensive shape. They were able to exploit on the flanks there and created a very good serving opportunity. But in that sequence, they connected 12 to 15 passes, found the open man, switched the field a couple times. That's what S2 needs to do. That's when they were at their best on Thursday, is when they had sustained possession, switched the ball, and then when they got guys isolated for combinations play or to go at defenders 1v1, they were able to do so with good quality.
It's interesting there because Threadgold is a attacking midfielder by nature, but today he's supposed to be a little bit more like a wingback.
Yes.
With how he plays. So that over pursuit is something
exactly.
that a midfielder can get away with.
Yes.
But if you're part of the defense, you don't want to do it.
Exactly. You saw how vulnerable they're put in a vulnerable place if that is not handled correctly. In that situation, all he has to do is make sure that he closes the player down and makes him go negative and backwards. The last thing you want to do is let the player feint you and be able to get behind you.
That through ball for Hopino is offside. Has to restart play, and LA sends downfield for Estrada. For Gilroy. And Threadgold can't hold it in. Marie throws in under the watchful eyes of S2 head coach John Hutchinson. Now it's Kasipli working his way toward the alley. Reno work it back. Well, this game's been something of a slow starter here in the first 14 minutes, but that'll come as no cause for stress for Reno 1868. They had something of a slow start to their season as well. Winless in their first 4, including 3 losses, but they didn't panic. Now they're 14 unbeaten.
Right.
8 wins and 6 draws in that span.
Amazing.
Is that good? That seems good.
That is pretty good.
That's amazing.
Ball in here, spilled by Brown to the backside, and there's Denzo Ulysses making a pretty veteran move to concede just a throw-in.
Again, we've seen S2 be hurt because they've turned off on throw-ins. Throw-ins for me are still a set piece, especially when they're in your own defensive third. Right? We've seen time and time again S2 has showed the propensity to turn off even for that half second on throw-ins, which is critical to be turned on, be organized, not give up anything easy.
Sorry, spins away from pressure. Finds Ulysses with a little bit of room. Boy, that looks like Antoine Hopino, and now a clash at midfield. Luis Felipe recoiling as though struck. Kasipli trying to ball through the middle. LA heads it back out.
Great combination play by Reno there in the midfield.
LA on the turnover finds Daly. Daly with only Estrada in front of him, but Ulysses making the run up the far side. This ball is looking for Ulysses. Queberg is getting there as well. Ulysses got to the ball, went down, but will not get that call. He will, however, get the corner. Fair to say, James, that it would be generous of referee Mike Hohenholtz to award a penalty for that?
Yes, very much so. Two things could have occurred. Ulysses could just fade out, meaning just get wide. A very ambitious through ball to be played there as your guy's running from 50 yards behind. Just get wide in a wide position, get the ball at your feet, then allows the team to breathe, set up combination plays, allows the other attackers to get involved as well. But not a bad thought early on to try that.
And after a moment's hesitation, that corner was given as a goal kick instead.
It's interesting that Ulysses still has that speed. He played 180 minutes within the last week.
Even more so to be smarter, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be all physical. It's just being very strategic and intentional with your movements. That play he could have faked that he was running through, peeled off, allowed him to receive the ball at his foot, allowed him to breathe, connect the clay, connect his team, and then be isolated. So here, let's see his decision here, something simple.
Ulysses going for something a bit more complicated than
Correct.
simple.
So that's the combination, that's the simplicity that I'm talking about. Just connect 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, let the team breathe, get momentum, build, is what S2 is really lacking early in this first half. And Reno has shown the ability to do so. They do very well, especially with that skip pass. They've been able to skip players out. They've had good combination play in the midfield. They have 2 active forwards. And they're riding a 14-game unbeaten streak, so they certainly have the confidence to win this game.
Mafeka's picked out Brown. He wants the return ball. Ellie getting there as well. Mafeka got to it first. Cut cross there. And we're looking to link up with Hopino. Wian was also lurking at the back post. Ulysses in for Sari there. Move here from Estrada. Right-footed shot.
Great
Lovely from Estrada. Wonderful. S2 take the lead here in the first half, and it's an 8th of the year for David Estrada. Magnificent finish, calm and composed, and S2's on top 1-0.
Excellent play. Fantastic through ball by Sari to continue his run. Perfectly weighted ball for Estrada. Has a good first touch. You thought it would draw him a bit wider of an angle than you wanted to, but was able to wrap his foot around it.
Take another look at it here.
Yep, gets his body around it, goes to that back stick. Fantastic technique.
Well, that about as well placed as you can strike that ball.
Excellent technique. Sari with a great assist to continue his momentum. Again, that comes off just being able to connect 2 or 3 passes in midfield. Allows you to play a penetrating ball. It doesn't come off accordingly, but the reactions by Sari and the other team members was fantastic. Allowed them to win the ball in dangerous spots, and it was 1 pass to goal.
Goal coming in the 19th minute. Timely. James, when you're playing on short rest, a lot of tired legs out there, what does it mean to go out there and seize the initiative like that?
Very good. No, very good start by S2. Now we just need more of that. Just be able to connect the play out of transition. Look for your seams and your passing angles and passing lanes when they arise. If not, then continue to circulate the ball. And obviously you have to be very well when you get your opportunities. And S2 was very good there with David Estrada, assisted by Captain Sari.
Sorry about the coughing there. The green smoke went off.
That's how they get you. You wouldn't believe it. We actually broadcast from right behind the goal. Well, that's a 2nd assist of the year for Ray Sari as well. Led the team in assists last season. Goals have been precious for S2 this year. That one takes a deflection. Callie Brown alert and off his line. And watching his development over the course of this year with S2 has really been a joy.
Yes. He's gotten better and better. His distribution is fantastic with his hands or with his feet. Had a big penalty kick save on Thursday night. I like his range, his ability to come out for crosses. I look for him to get better and better.
Rodriguez LA caught out, tying his shoe a little bit there. Probably a little bit tough with the cast on, but he recovers nicely. Still Reno going for the high press here. 21st minute here at Cheney Stadium. Sounders FC2 on top, 1-0. Thanks to a goal 2 minutes ago from David Estrada. And Estrada holding off his man there, doesn't have to win a free kick. Restarted short. Estrada, Ulysses making the move. Will get the ball, and Kleberg a well-timed challenge.
Estrada's been done well today, Thursdays as well, but he has a desire to want the ball, to want to be on the ball in tight spaces. He has the courage to get on the ball in tight spaces, go at players, create, react off mistakes. Very good mentality that the young S2 squad can learn from.
Thrown toward the head of Estrada. Muscled off the ball there, and done well by Zach Carroll to let Marcinkowski come out and collect it. Janjagin. Almost looked to stumble a little bit there. Daly bottling up Kleberg.
Estrada's now tied for 7th in the league goal scoring. 6 players tied at first with 9.
Wow, the adage that it's lonely at the top, not proving true in the Golden Boot race so far this year. Brown staying near side. That one took a deflection on its way through, and that will lead to the first corner of the match. Antoine Hopinot getting involved there. And it looks like it's going to be Chris Wean. We'll swing this one in. Couple of tall options. Of course, the return of Sam Rogers helps negate things a little bit now that they have both him and LA back there. Ray Sorry being warned to move back to 10 yards. Short run up, played it short to Mafeka atop the 18. He'll spin it to the back post.
This is a great corner opportunity.
That comes loose. Ulysses gets a touch, draws the free kick, and that is probably going to lead to a booking. Lindo Mafeka goes into the book here in the first half after chopping down Denzo Ulysses on the break.
He knew it immediately, too. Raised his hand, said that was going to be a card.
Great courage by Ulysses, knowing the challenge is coming in to get a toe on it before. Had an opportunity to spring the counterattack, which is something we alluded to as well on Thursday. Today, S2 staying high with 2 guys on set pieces off corner kicks for an opportunity to spring on the counterattack.
S2 moving forward again. Estrada lost his footing. Daly unable to turn the resulting ball. Estrada slaps the ground in frustration, but here's big Sam Rogers. Rogers uncorks one, and he'll miss over the crossbar.
Great step by Sam. That's what I'm talking about. As S2 is defending, it's being cognizant of being caught on the break and squeezing the lines. There, Rogers fantastic in stepping up, squeezing the line, was able to intercept the pass and then create an opportunity on net for himself.
Ulysses dispossessed. Reno staying on the front foot. This falls for Brown. Go back outside looking for Hopinot.
That's something the organization wants to see their center backs doing, getting forward with the ball at their feet regularly. You see it with Kim Keehee, Ramon Torres, Sam Rogers, and Rodriguez LA all do it.
Reno restarts same side to Kleberg, over the top for Hopinot. S2 playing from in front has been a rare privilege for them this season. They haven't had the opportunity to do much of it. James, is that a skill that you have to learn like anything else?
Of course, it really is. It gives you the confidence to know that you can score goals. It Gives you confidence to know that you can defend leads while also looking for additional opportunities to put more in the back of the net. It's a mentality more than anything.
Brown fights his way to that ball. S2 win it away. Sorry, hold on to it through a challenge there.
Ray is doing a strong job just skipping through defense today, just dribbling through them.
Lovely
turn.
body feint by Ulysses. He's got a bit of room. Queeber showing great speed and recovery. Cuts it back for Daly. Daly bowled over by Felipe and nothing given. Two S2 players on the deck. The crowd none too happy, but play carries on. Weehan coming back the other way. Mafeka picks up his head, surveys, finds Brown to the near side. Dropped off for Kasipli. Mafeka. Weehan closed by Milietti. Cross into the middle. Kasipli gets a touch. Did that come off of Ellie's hand? Referee says no.
Very fortunate. Certainly could have been called a handball.
We'll hope to get another look at it in a moment or two. In the meantime, thread gold for Burke Gilroy. He finds Daly well. Estrada wants Ulysses. Hard hit ball. And Ulysses got some great wheels, but he won't be able to get to that one.
Yeah, Ulysses just a bit tired, and rightly so. Had a great body feint on the initial play a couple minutes ago, and his ability, again, just to put your body in between the ball and defender to possibly draw a foul, to, you know, create contact where the defender has to either go through you or you can continue on your progression.
Great first touch from Burke Gilroy. Estrada taking some space, closed down by two defenders. Daly back from Milietti. Room to switch. Milietti keeps it short. Ray Sari wants to lift one. On that challenge, Marcinkowski.
And you saw it there. Very good, composed possession. Estrada leads it to Daly. Daly connects centrally again, finds Sari, creates an opportunity on net. The composed possession in the attacking third was very good on that sequence.
Chopped over the top for Marie, who's drifting inside from his right back position. He's found Hopino. Hopino wants his right foot. Sam Rogers wants Hopino, and he gets the ball.
Excellent defending by Rogers. Isolated 1v1 in the box. Advantage always goes to the attacker. Did very well to stand up Hopino.
Referee looked like he was playing advantage after Jesse Daly was run over there. Turnover now to Brown. Queeberg. Reno still cycling. They know they have over an hour to find an equalizer. Kasipli. He'll go up top for Mafeka. Touched on and left behind by Marie, who ventured forward. James, from what you've seen over the almost first half hour, who from Reno looks like they're willing to play that incisive ball to try to unlock this S2 defense?
Yeah, Reno's has had some good sustained possession. They've created a fair amount of scoring opportunities from combination play and flank play. So for me, no one person has stood out necessarily, but their ability to connect passes through the midfield and look to spring players is good. You always have to be cognizant of their front two. That can turn it on at any time, especially against a back three. But I certainly think Reno will definitely create their opportunities as this game progresses.
Ball being batted back and forth at midfield. Callie Brown going to lift one forward. Burke Gilroy trying to settle underneath it. Carroll first one to it. And the second one to it. And he's won a free kick in the process.
The mentality of S2 will be tested today. It's hot on the field. They've put in a significant amount of minutes over the last week. They have the lead at home against a team that's gone 14 games unbeaten. This is where the true mentality is tested. What are they willing to do to really conserve this result, build on it, and not get out of here today without honestly 3 points is what they're aiming for.
Brown wants Ulysses once more. The two of them have already combined very well. Ulysses, not afraid to throw in against Queberg, but he loses the positioning battle. Luis Felipe, sandwich there, and that a pretty easy call for the referee.
No problem. Good defensive pressure. Again, we've gotten back to S2 hunting in packs. Very good. Take that foul, allow your team to get back behind the ball. No problem at all.
We've played a half hour here at Cheney Stadium. Sounders 2 lead 1-0 against Reno 1868 FC. Dave, what jumps out to you about these first 30 minutes?
For a team that hasn't practiced in this formation very much, I think S2 is doing a strong job. There have been a little bit of spacing errors on the left side once in a while, but you're dealing with two academy kids playing up there between Briscoe and Threadgold. I think overall the quality of this new formation is enabling S2 to get into the attack more than they have.
Cut inside, looking for Hopino. Bert Gilroy runs through the shoulder challenge. Back for Daly. Did that take a deflection? It did not. Reno ball. Daly, some hard work to win that, and Estrada wins the free kick.
Daly did very, very good to win that. He's outputting a lot of energy on the defensive side of the ball, which sometimes can limit your attacking propensity because you don't have the energy to naturally go forward. So that's why it's very important after the team has hunted the ball together, if it's not on, to play a splitting through ball just to connect passes to allow your guys to reset and breathe.
Estrada. Wider still for Ulysses. S2 looking to switch. High hit ball for Briscoe. Jinky move up the middle. S2 still on it here. It's Estrada. Veteran footwork there to hold on to that in traffic. Now picked out Ulysses. Ulysses, space now for maybe a left-footed cross. Drops it off for Daly. Daly going inside, headed back out by Janjagin. And Daly commits the free kick error.
Kick out. That was a kick out there. Very fortunate. The referee didn't see it.
Daly down. He fouled Chris Wien. There's no doubt about that.
Very fortunate, Chris Wien, that the referee didn't see that. A definite kick out after being fouled. With VAR, for me, possible sending off. The referee reviews it.
We'll see if we can get another look here. Well, Marcinkowski lining up to take the kick.
Referee did very well to go over and just talk to the player, let him know he possibly saw it, but he's not going to have any more of it. This game has warned the player.
Brown controls the ball out of the air. Well, S2 has found itself in a number of physical battles, including Thursday's match against Swope Park. That one turned into a real gut check, especially in the later minutes. Carroll, Kasipli. Mafeka upended and wins the free kick in an advanced position. Reno thought about going quickly. Kasipli stays on the ground. Finds Hopino to the byline. He goes down and won't get the call. Threadgold up to Estrada. And Estrada can't hold it in. Straight back to the near side. Low ball in. That one from Marie.
Good spot by LA. Defend that front post. Runners coming across.
Luis Felipe was looking for Mafeka. LA disrupted the ball. Estrada checking back, gets it back to Daly. Hits it ahead of Estrada.
The idea is good by Daly, but we've seen his passing just a bit off than normal.
Estrada's given him a few instructions right now about where he wanted that ball in the last time.
Perhaps, but not necessarily something along the lines of, Jesse, I'm 30, don't hit it that far in front of me. But we don't have any of our guys mic'd up, so we can't be certain. But we should, though.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm glad you said it.
That way I take the heat in case he listens in later. Queberg has it on the far side, gets a move past Daly. Up for Wehan. Wehan upended there by a bad challenge from Rodriguez LA. Referee going to check on Wehan first.
That was also a very harsh challenge. LA very fortunate.
Going to hold off the trainers. He has the yellow card in his hands. LA not really going to protest this one too much. He knows that given the circumstances, it could have gone better. Gives the referee a smile with the card.
Very fortunate just to get a yellow for that. Love the aggressive play. Probably a bit too aggressive. But very fortunate to only be cautioned with the yellow card.
So LA goes into the book. And glad to see Wehan back on his feet. But this, promising a location for a free kick for the visitors. It's like a three-man wall for S2. Daly, Ulysses, Estrada, Burke Gilroy going to check in as well. Mafeka lurking just behind the wall. Brian Brown doing battle with Kai Briscoe. Wehan spins it to the back post and it was a breaking ball that never broke. Out for a goal kick.
Again, we reached the critical moments. The last 5 to 7 minutes of a half, always very critical. See how S2 is able to get into the halftime whistle.
Well, it's strange to think about it. This, the 11th appearance of the season for Rodriguez LA, and he was a player that got himself in yellow card trouble a little bit last season. That was just his second yellow card of the 2018 USL season.
No, he's been very good. He's also grown into the season as well. Like his mentality. You can tell he loves to defend, and that's what you want from your center back.
Sounders, too, just getting out-muscled at midfield right now. There's a player down behind the run of play. It's the captain, Ray Sari. He went shoulder to shoulder with someone. Frustrated now. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Take another look at this here. Boy, tough to say what happened there. Looks like just one of his legs gave out.
After the contact, so it wasn't necessarily related to the Reno player there. It was just...
It certainly seemed like a fair 50-50 shoulder play between he and Lindo Mafeka. The rest of the team's taking the opportunity to grab some water. And this would not be good. Ray Sari is something of the heart and soul of this team. We'll take another look at it.
Hamstring.
Pulls
He's
his
grabbing his
hamstring
hamstring.
right there.
You can see it. Just a little strain.
S2
That's a difficulty and sometimes the reality of playing so many minutes within a week or so. Usually guys have their heart rate monitor on. They know how many units they can carry over. And that sports science behind it is critical because that creates longevity for the player throughout the season. If they're in a certain range or if they've accumulated their units, then that's when you see the squad rotated and guys rested because it puts them at a higher percentage to get injured. And you see Ray Sari going off with a hamstring injury as the captain there. Very unfortunate. Was having a bright game. Very unfortunate that they've lost Narbonne and Sari to 2 injuries.
Absolutely. You certainly hope his isn't anything as serious or long-term as Francisco Narbonne's. But now it looks like for the second time in as many matches, S2 head coach John Hutchinson is going to be forced to make a substitution due to injury in the first half. It really limits your tactical options late in the game. That, a massive collision at midfield. Lindo Mafeka already on a yellow card.
Oh,
and that's a second yellow. Lindo Mafeka sent off here in the 42nd minute after clattering in to another Sounders 2 player. He was on thin ice. The initial contact, it looked like Mafeka might be the victim of a bit of bad luck here, but he went in hard on that challenge. And the S2 player, I believe that's Gio Miglietti.
David Estrada.
Forgive me, it's Estrada that's down. I'll take a look at this. It's been a rough couple of minutes for Sounders too. Oh, yeah, just caught him with that leg up in the air. He'd already set the precedent of giving out a yellow for LA for pretty much the same foul.
Exactly.
No doubt about it.
Bottom of your boot into a guy's back, that's problematic.
So for the second time in as many games, S2 will play up a man for a significant amount of time. Lindo Mafeka sent off here in the 42nd minute on 2 yellow cards. And that will buy enough time now for the substitute to appear. This appears to be number 42, Cam Martin. And will sub on for the injured Ray Sari.
Martin earned a lot of minutes early in the season when both Narbonne and Sari were out. This will be his 5th appearance in the year.
And unfortunate from Mfeka there. He was actually bright in this game, especially in the 4-4-2 lineup that Reno has come out. He was bright. He was very good, aggressive to the ball. But you're absolutely right. The precedent had just been sent with LA. Similar challenge. Deserved yellow. Unfortunate it was his second, and he's sent off.
Ulysses back to Martin, who just came on for Sari. David Estrada's been waved back on the field as well after receiving treatment. Burt Gilroy wanted the back heel to his fellow countryman, Jesse Daly there. And Miglietti guilty of the handball. Well, now this really changes the timbre of the match. The last time S2 went up a man against Smoke Park Rangers, they were down a goal.
Yes.
But now Reno is going to have to chase the game.
Yes. And again, they'll do that strategically. Being down a man and down a goal, you don't have to throw the kitchen sink early. You want to be strategic. You want to be very, very delicate with your set piece opportunities that you do create. You want to create opportunities off the break and really trying to catch S2. Like I said, again, S2's mentality is going to be tested today with an injury of Sari, the injury of Narbonne earlier this week, being up a goal at home, having played multiple games this week, and now up a goal in the heat. A lot of factors, but this is how mentality and a culture is built, off getting results from games exactly like this.
It's interesting, the band of 4 is all teenagers. 3 of them from the academy there.
Yep.
Luis Felipe tucks that ball out of play. We're in the 45th minute. I think you'd expect we'll see a couple of minutes of stoppage time between the injuries and the ejection of Lindo Mafeka. Ulysses back to Daly, can't control it. Janjigan S2 look like they just want to catch Reno napping a little bit. 3 minutes of added time will play, is the signal from the fourth official.
Tremendous ball at the back. Reno very calm and composed under the S2's press. Sidestepping. Players composed in their passing out of the back.
Kasipli finds Wian. Brian Brown wanted that ball quickly, didn't get it. Kasipli over the top toward Marie. And Marie guilty of a foul on Threadgold.
1868 has about a half dozen fans with a tambourine over here today. They're very similar to S2 in that they're operated by the Reno Aces and have an affiliation with the San Jose Earthquakes.
Turned and chipped toward Estrada. Daly arrives at that ball, has Ulysses shorten inside. Back to Martin.
Good sequence of passing here for S2. Just as I say that.
Popenow jumps the route. Briscoe wins it back. Puts his body on the line to do so. Now Burt Gilroy.
Great reaction.
Burt Gilroy wants Threadgold up the near side. Ilietti. Back wide to Briscoe. Briscoe thinking about a cross here. Shoulder push from there. And it's going to be a goal kick. Restarted to Carroll. Marie up to Hopeno. Well-timed challenge from LA there.
Great defending by LA. Even better to connect the pass off the challenge.
Burt Gilroy. A little bit of space. Threadgold trying to get it back to him. Burt Gilroy's run onto this nicely. Cut back toward Estrada. Headed down the way by Carroll. Threadgold arriving, but Felipe gets it away from him. And that's the last action of the first half. Well, Sounders FC2 up a goal, up a man. James, your thought on this first 45?
Yeah, good 45 for S2, knowing they've played a lot of games, critical moments they've come through, meaning the one chance, full chance that they created, David Estrada put it away. Unfortunate for the injury to Sari, but again, the mentality of S2 will be challenged going into the second half with a one-goal lead and a man advantage.
Dave, if you are John Hutchinson, the S2 manager, what's the message to the team in the locker room?
I want them to continue to attack. I want them to get another goal. I want to see stuff like we just saw with Kai Briscoe, getting forward late. That can help this team succeed and get them a needed win and that momentum boost by knowing they beat a team like Reno.
We'll take a break here at Cheney Stadium at the half. Sounders FC2 leads Reno 1868 1-0 here on ESPN+.
If I told you I'd give you directions to the greatest place on earth, what would you think? Would you pack your bags for Cali? Put on a little hat with mouse ears? No need. See, the greatest place on earth is right here in your backyard. I'm talking about Cheney Stadium, the South Sound's crown jewel and home of Tacoma Rainiers baseball. There's a little something for everyone at a Rainiers game. And when views of the field are this good and drinks are this cold, you'll get one taste and be hooked. Tickets are available at TacomaRainiers.com. Rainiers baseball. This is our city.
Hi, my name is Ray Sari, center mid, and I got one question for you.
I'm David Olson. I'm a forward, and I got one question for you.
I have one question for you. I'm Francisco Narbon. I'm a center mid. I got one question for you.
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
I S2.
I S2. We S2.
We S2.
We S2.
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
Now I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking it too.
Do you S2?
What does S2 mean to me?
What does S2 mean to me?
Love.
I suck.
I got a question.
I got a question for you. I got a question.
Do you S2?
Oh, come on! Lancaster! Cameron Lancaster! A dream of a goal!
Yeats inside the area. It's Hamilton! What a finish! Jordan Hamilton! What a strike!
Depersky getting in behind.
That ball from Mirkovic, and what an incredible goal from Pereski! Cordell Cato, oh my goodness, what a finish! Across the middle, Obanawi with the insurance goal, there it is! McInerney, good looking ball, Jack McInerney! Thinks it back in, flipped on, Krisnenko!
Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody puts the Monarchs ahead in the 8th minute of play.
This one sent in. Great effort! Tampa Bay equalized in the 90th. It's Dalo Duro in his rowdy debut. Obi steps in. Obi shooting! Saved by Lynn! He protected the 2 points!
Looking overlap here on the cross, volleyed in, and beautifully saved.
Stepping forward, header is saved! Von Williams just barely knocking it away from Doyle.
Brandon Allen! Garces kept it out.
Here comes Fresno. Cooper! Safekeeper. Cohen gets in behind. Francois off of Ranjitsing. Francois again. Ranjitsing slaps it away. Lofted over the back line and saved by Pickens as he dives aside. With his left! And there's the goal! The goal! The goal for OKC! Shot whipped in! And it is in the back of the net!
Hi, my name is Ray Sorry, center mid, and I got one question for you.
I'm David Olson. I'm a forward, and I got one question for you.
I have one question for you. I'm Francisco Narbon. I'm a center mid. I got one question for you.
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
I S2.
I S2. We S2.
We S2.
We S2.
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
Now I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking. Because I'm thinking it too.
Do you S2?
What does S2 mean to me?
What does S2 mean to me? Love.
I suck.
I got a question.
I got a question for you. I got a question.
Do you S2?
Welcome back to Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, where through 45 minutes, Sounders FC2 hold a 1-0 lead over visiting Reno 1868 FC. Hello, everyone. Welcome back here on ESPN Plus. Andrew Harvey alongside James Riley and Dave Clark. James, pretty end-to-end stuff there in that first half, but ultimately it's S2 that capitalizes.
Yes, great play by Sari, the captain, to get a bobbling ball in midfield after initial through ball, and then was able to put a perfectly weighted ball to Estrada. His first touch thought him took him away a bit on the angle, but he was able to capitalize and put it to the back post. It was a great goal.
Now, Dave, unfortunately, like he said, Ray Sari, great composure. Well, he's forced to leave the game, technically subbed off in the 43rd minute. What does S2 lose by not having him on the pitch?
They're down really to just one leader. That's going to be David Estrada. They're going to have to ride his confidence and leadership. With Sari also, they lose great passing from that defensive midfielder. He's somebody who can thread a ball 35 to 40 yards effectively. They're going to lose that. Cam Martin has learned a lot defensively this year, so I'm confident in that. But they're running a new formation, and it's going to be counting on 4 teenagers in that defensive band. That's going to be hard.
Well, let's take a look at some of our statistics from here in the first half. As we call them up on screen here for you, we can start to get a sense of what is jumping out here on this first one. And obviously, James, the big one's got to be shots.
Yeah, definitely S2. 4 shots to 0, but we know that Reno have the capability, especially with the 2-man front of Brown and Hopino, to turn that on. But it was very good capitalization by S2. 4 shots created. I thought some good play as well, so I look for them to build on it, especially with the 1-man advantage.
Dave, do you expect that possession stat to become more slanted toward S2, given that they're playing up a man here in the second half?
Up a man and more comfortable with that formation. I think both of those are going to have a great advantage for S2, and I think you should look for them to press towards goal more frequently here in the second.
Well, let's take a look at the moments that mattered from in the first half. Here are your first half highlights, and obviously, James, right off the bat, this one really stands out.
Yeah, again, Sari to Estrada. Perfect combination from 2 veteran players. Capitalized on a goal.
Just another angle at it there.
He
Great
picks
work
it up,
from
draws
Sari.
the defender. Yep, you thought Estrada's first touch took him away a bit, but he was able to wrap his foot around it.
Well, that was the 19th minute. 4 minutes later, Lindo Mafeka would get himself in a bit of trouble, Dave.
Yeah, there have been some moments with a little bit of violence here on the field today.
And that's
foul.
The second yellow there. Lindo Mafeka just reaching in. You see referee Mike Hohenholtz, no hesitation. He knew it was a yellow. Does not hesitate to give out the second.
With that second yellow there, that's the red card that sent Mafeka off. That's what's going to give S2 the man advantage here in the second half. It wasn't the only high boot we saw in the day. Rodrigo Ele had also gone high with his boot and had a yellow earlier in the game. So both sides knew that those kinds of plays were going to put them in danger of getting sent off.
So David Estrada bags his 8th goal of the season. And of course, we hadn't had a chance to mention it yet as we're getting set here to start the second half, but Felix Chankum, who was signed to an MLS contract with the Seattle Sounders from up I-5, is back in a standard USL loan agreement, and he is on the bench available today. So really, there's an opportunity for a real 1-2 punch. In that first half, James, you mentioned S2's lack of a true number 9, but they definitely have one in the form of Chankum.
Absolutely. Chankum looking to get some minutes. He hasn't played in a while, so I'm sure he's eager to contribute anywhere he can, especially if it's going to be to an S2 win.
A reminder that S2 have used up one of their substitutions to bring on Cam Martin in the 43rd minute. Quickly, a free kick coming for Reno.
Interesting to note that is Sam Rogers with the captain's armband and not David Estrada. Coaching decision possibly, but you would think that with Estrada on the field, the captain armband goes to him. So it'd be interesting to see the coach's decision there. And he probably picks up the quickest yellow card in history in the second half, where he's very close.
Yeah, about 36 seconds into the second half, David Estrada goes into the book. So he'll have to be cautious the rest of the way. I was about to say that up a goal and a man, maybe it's unlikely to see Felix Chankum in this match, but given that Estrada now is carrying a yellow, perhaps that swings the odds back the other way. We'll see as things press forward. Meanwhile, this is Brian Brown. Brian going out wide to Queberg. Corralled by Callie Brown. Brian Brown kind of had a tough time getting involved in that first half there, Dave.
Yeah, for a guy with 7 goals, you thought that we'd hear a lot more of his name, but S2 did a strong job limiting his touches.
Mm-hmm.
It appears from the early goings here, James, that John Hutchinson wants to stay in this 3-4-2-1 formation. A wise move when you're up a man?
Yes, I thought it did well for them, especially if you're trying to get some continuity in the formation. I think now they'll have an opportunity to have more of the ball, exploit Reno in certain opportunities, but at the same time, you have to be aware of Reno's opportunities on the break and set pieces. They are still a very good team that are riding high in confidence right now.
LA win that away. Milietti out for Martin. Seesawing with Estrada and Daly. Ulysses out wide. Ulysses gets it. Low ball in. Plucked away by Janjigan.
Again, good sustained possession for S2. They're able to circulate the ball, get it from one side to the other, create a numbers up opportunity, and get it wide for a service. And they had 3 runners in the box. Although they were late runners, they still were getting runners into the box.
Openo and Briscoe do battle. That came off Briscoe. And will be a second corner of the match for the visitors. Have a look at that move from Openo. Good recovery by Briscoe.
The set pieces are going to be critical.
Janjigan going inside for Luis Felipe. Janjigan trying to cut in here. He's found some space.
But Ulysses done well. It's not easy being the wing back in a formation like this. You're required to get up and down the sideline. You're required to win your individual duels, but also support the attack and get to the byline for services. So a lot of energy is expended in that formation, especially for the wing backs.
You can see John Hutchinson on the edge of your screen. Now that's going to draw a free kick. And John Hutchinson will say about time after Denzo Ulysses was upended out of play moments ago. And Ulysses restarts it with a negative ball back to Sam Rogers. Milietti over to Threadgold. Briscoe going for the overlap. Gets it. Ball's taking him wide. Drop back from Martin. Martin picks up his head. Kasipli coming to pressure. Hard hit ball toward Ulysses, and he won't get there in time. Is that an opportunity, James, where you'd like to see Martin shoot that ball?
I thought the idea was good, just the execution. Young player getting in. I thought the idea was good, just didn't have the quality he wanted on the big switching ball. So I don't have any problem with the patience of not to shoot it and rush a shot, rather circulate it to really create high percentage opportunity.
Felipe.
And I thought his angle closed pretty quickly on that. If he didn't get it off with his first or his second touch, his angle closed down pretty quickly.
Carroll's eating up some space here. Now Marie. Floating ball toward Wean. He gets a touch to it. Falling for Brown. Brown going at Brown. And Brown off his line and takes it from Brown. Have I made that clear enough? All kidding aside, more good aggressive goalkeeping from Callie Brown. The last 2 matches, he's really shown in that regard.
Absolutely, and he's going to be called upon. It's not over for Reno, not in the least bit. So he's definitely going to be called upon in this game, so he needs to be up for the challenge, keep his defensive line organized, try to prevent as much opportunities as possible, but he will be called upon to make saves today.
More players tangling up. Advantage played for S2. It's Martin. Hit back toward Ulysses. Is he onside? He is, but he cannot get it by defender Chris Wean. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. 52nd minute here. Ulysses throws into the penalty area, and that one whistles wide. S2 have won a corner.
I like this. They're not just accepting the ball kicking around the midfield. They're going for the goal. That's what you want to see.
Yes, the ECS has a lot more green smoke to release. So I think we're all hoping for additional goals for S2.
Well, sorry, out of the picture. It'll be Anthony Burke-Gilroy to swing this in. Hard hit ball to the far post, and that one has already gone over the end line for a goal kick.
It's a wasted opportunity there. Want to see S2 really, really just take their time, deliver a good ball, and not waste opportunities, as we've seen that come back to haunt them in the past.
Janjagin all the way over to Hopino, who's going to try to victimize Briscoe a second time. Byline, and that one straight to Callie Brown. James Briscoe again doing enough to just close down the angle and leave nothing for Antoine Hopino.
Yes, good 1v1 defending. I think it could be a bit better. Almost too easy of an angle for Hopino to get to the byline, but he's been challenged so far this game, and he's been good as for the young player.
Luis Felipe. And I'm just trying to work it up the near side. Queberg. Lost out to Daly. Both these teams looking to settle this ball, neither one doing so successfully. And blasted away from Martin. Brown, clever touch there. Marie, another clever touch. Sam Rogers plays it off Marie. This one bound for the end line. It will get there and will be a goal kick. Well, Reno head coach Ian Russell says it's time to make a change. He'll put in the Englishman Jordan Murrell here in the 56th minute.
Ian Russell, a.k.a. E-Dog, former assistant coach of mine with the San Jose Earthquakes. Fantastic guy, very happy for his success. He's a great assistant coach, great player in Major League Soccer. And
former A-League Seattle Sounder.
Yes, and another former player that has transitioned to the coaching ranks as a head coach.
This is threat goal. Estrada on the overlap. Have to pull it back. Ball into space. This finds Hopino. And Milietti breaking up the intended cross for Brown. Kai Briscoe was there.
We've seen this exact thing happen on Thursday. Daly's inability to either hard check to the ball, have some separation, have allowed defenders to step in and intercept. And you see how that can lead to a counterattack with Sam Rogers pressed into the midfield to play the ball. It makes you susceptible to the break. So Daly needs to do a good job of either finding soft pockets or really checking hard and creating separation from the defender so that the defender's not beating him to the ball.
Weehan over the head of Brown. Merle is there to collect it. Weehan is away toward the byline here. Cuts this ball in. Advantage played. Carroll's put it over the bar.
Golden opportunity for Reno there. Kept it alive off the initial set piece. Was able to get an additional opportunity and a great chance practically inside the 6-yard box that Carroll wishes he'd done better with.
Would have been a tricky finish for him. But sometimes you need to step up and shine in those moments. 58th minute. S2 leading 1-0, and haven't really been able to confirm it yet, but it looks as though Ian Russell is kind of transitioning toward having a three-man back line with the removal of Queberg. Brian Brown is onside here. He's going one-on-one with Callie Brown. A sliding challenge from Kai Briscoe. Has he got the ball cleanly? No. Penalty.
Oh, no. Red. The referee's having a difficult time on deciding on whether it's a red or a yellow or a foul. Thought Briscoe got over in time, made a fantastic challenge. Referee took his time deciding.
Well, we'll take another look at it here. Brown's on the ball. Boy, it really looks like Kai Briscoe gets that ball first.
It's a very good tackle, great recovery speed by Briscoe. Very unfortunate to give up the penalty. In my opinion, it was a good, clean tackle, and that coming from a defender, so I'm always going to lean that way.
We'll have another look at it here. Well, you know what? On second blush, I stand corrected. That is a fantastic call by the referee, Mike Hohenholtz. Really well communicated between him and his assistant referee staff.
Absolutely. And Briscoe's very fortunate that this game is not even right now at 10 men apiece, because it very, very well could have been a red card. The referee reached for his back pocket and then reconsidered and went with the yellow.
It's Kasipli at the penalty spot. Callie Brown saved one in Thursday's contest against Swope Park. Can he do it again here? Kasipli lined up straight behind this ball. He'll hit it with the right. Goes right, and he scores. Callie Brown unable to equalize the feat, and we're level here in the 60th minute.
Again, the play previous, I said that they were caught on the break. They were caught on the break within 2 minutes of that. Again, put themselves in a vulnerable position. The ability for S2 to attack, but be very mindful of their positioning is critical. And you see Callie Brown, again, reading it well. He's been 3 for 3 in reading the direction of the penalties. One he saved, the other was a well-hit penalty on Thursday night, and this one he read it well, just wasn't able to get his big paw down to it.
We're going to have one more piece of action here in the 60th minute. Anthony Burke-Gilroy's day is done, and on comes Felix Shankum. 4 goals to his name this USL season.
So Daly being subbed off.
Pardon me.
Daly.
One's 89, the other's 98.
Yep. No, but Daly, for me, again, he's played a lot of minutes, so there's no discredit to his efforts, but you could see it almost in the first half that he was definitely a bit gassed and putting a lot of energy into the defensive work. So he's created a very good body of work over these last 3 games, deserves a rest, and you bring in Felix Shankum, who's chomping at the bit to get some action, and is a true number 9. So look for the game to change a little bit.
It drops Estrada back a line.
And you saw Ian Russell speaking to the 4th official on why that wasn't a red card as the penalty was being taken. Very fortunate that that's not a straight red card for being the last man on that challenge.
Yeah, the common parlance nowadays is basically the doctrine of refereeing theory is that it's almost become a little bit too unfair in recent years to both send a player off and award a penalty kick. So unless the player was very cynically not attempting to play the ball at all, which Kai Briscoe was, then in general, most referees have been given the green light to only give a yellow instead of a red in that situation. And it's one of those changes to the rules that has been slow to come into public knowledge. Here come Reno once more. Overlap for Weehan. Weehan, space for a cutback cross. Catastrophe averted for S2.
And we knew Reno was going to create their chances, and that was my challenge to S2 is the challenge their mentality. They're giving up a lot on the break. For being up a man, they're still giving up a lot of space in behind, so they need to be more cognizant of Reno's shift in formation to stay with the 2 up front. And right now, they're causing havoc for this S2 lineup.
Whole host of big bodies in the area. Weehan spins this one at the 6. Carroll is there, headed back across the face of goal. Callie Brown has that one all the way. He looks like he wants to play quickly. Ball's lifted into space. Burt Gilroy underneath it. Kasipley first one there. Estrada. Milietti. Kai Briscoe. Briscoe, some space in the middle. Out wide to Threadgold. Threadgold across the face of goal. Had a man at the back post.
Great ball. Excellent ball by Threadgold. He has the capability to take players on 1v1. We saw him Thursday get switched to the right side, and he was able to get to the end line numerous opportunities. Being a right foot player playing on the left side, he's cutting in a bit more. But I would like to see him unbalance the defender by being able to do a step over, get to the end line, get a service in, which then, allows him to be more effective when coming inside on that right foot.
Weehan. A lot of green jerseys around him, very few white ones.
Reno feeling comfortable with the man down, keeping possession well, creating attacks.
Ball over the top toward Hopino. Rodriguez L.A. bats it out of the air. I was about to ask you about that. James, conventional wisdom would say level at 1-1 on a penalty that you're glad to have and down a man. Wouldn't conventional wisdom say to button up here?
I think so, but I believe they feel they have the quality, and they do. They're showing it right now. Reno, a very good team, has the mentality to continue to get big results.
Murray over the top. That's lovely for Weehan, who was offside.
And you see them right now picking S2 apart with their combination play, their circulation of the ball, their first to every 50-50. They have some new life having that recent penalty kick.
Boy,
I don't know about that call.
That does not necessarily look like Chris Weehan was offside. He didn't do anything with the service, but Martin, wide for Threadgold. Threadgold back to the byline. Not going to get there. Dave, S2 looking a little shell-shocked over the course of these last 5 minutes.
Yeah, between their inability to get the second ball, their poor passing leading to turnovers, springing Reno, you'd almost think this is an 11v11 game.
Ulysses can't beat the first defender. Milietti. Martin. Martin wanted to turn. For Gilroy. They're looking for Chankum. S2 look to be waiting to get a chance to stretch the back line, see if they can play Chankum in over the top. Marcinkowski has to hit that away quickly. Burt Gilroy heads it down. Chankum is there. Appeals for handball. Nothing given by the referee. LA bats that out of play. And it looks like we're going to see substitution number 3 for S2. Reno also going to use a sub. Antoine Hopino's day is done. Duke LaCroix is on, and then Shandon Hopia will check in for S2.
And you see with the Hopiao sub, you see the switch, thread goes to his natural right side, and we saw his ability to get to the end line and whip in services, which would be great addition for Chenkum. He just needs to be fed into the box multiple times, put in dangerous spots, give him an opportunity to attack the ball in the box. So look for thread goal to do that.
Another ball here toward the far post.
And again, comes off a throw-in. We've spoken about throw-ins given up by S2, where they turn off for a half second. They allow the advantage to the other team, and it leads to a shot. Should never happen off a throw-in.
And that was Duke Lacroix. They got that shot off, the recent entrant to this match. So again, Reno still with one more sub to use.
And we highlighted Hopiao in the pregame, and I really want him to go at defenders, be isolated 1v1. He has the ability to come inside on his right foot. We've seen him do very well doing that from this left side. I want him to demand the ball, be able, impact the game both offensively and defensively, because he has the ability to do it, but it only comes in small doses and patches. We want more consistent effort for him.
That was Hopiao making that run up the far side just now. Brown and Briscoe fighting once more. Brown muscles it away. Tied up by LA. Brown played that ball while it was on the ground. LA, a risky move to jump over a downed opponent and flick the ball away, but it comes off well for him.
Good hard defending by LA. And composure to then just connect the pass, connect the ball. Good defenders have the ability to win the ball, but then also connect that next pass, which is critical because it can springboard the attack in transition.
How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every Tuesday, and you could win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. That's Lacroix. Felipe. Antagonizing Estrada there. Boy, Felipe is just a big presence in midfield, and he's hit a well-weighted ball there. Lacroix crossed in for Brown. It's 2-1. Down a man. The visitors climb on top in the 70th. And a complete breakdown at the back for S2.
And we've said it. Reno has been pressing, been the better team in the second half, even with a man down. They've created a number of opportunities from wide play. And you see their veteran presence really, really causing an impact in this game.
Take a look at the replay. Rodrigue Ele just frozen in place there. He turns around and looks. He thought he had another man covering the back end there, or perhaps was expecting some communication, but a massive breakdown.
The defensive marking, games are won and lost in the penalty box, and for me, LA has to have his head on a swivel and know that the number one target for Reno in the box is going to be Brown.
It's an 8th goal of the season for Brian Brown.
You need to be able to find him, identify him as soon as possible. If you're in his range, you get to him, you body him up. And we saw Brown's ability to play off the back shoulder of the defender. A ball played right across the 6. Very good goal from Reno.
Fred Gold gives chase to that ball, gets to it in time. It's over everyone's head, though. Still a heroic effort to reach that before it went out of play.
After the goal, S2 had a little huddle. Talked about where the mistakes were made and what they needed to do. It's going to be interesting to hear afterward who called for that huddle and just what was discussed.
It looked like Callie Brown called for it when I initially saw it. But you see that Reno now is in a 3-4-1, doing very, very well at combining and getting into to flank areas with simple combination plays, up, back, and through, 1-2s. They're really, really causing havoc to this S2 back line, which is still a 3-man back line.
Well, you've got to give credit to Reno, who, despite being under duress after pulling a goal level on a penalty kick, decided that there might be more in this match for them. Not over yet, but they've climbed on top. 2-1 here in the 73rd minute. despite being down to 10 men.
This formation is, who's critical in this formation are your center midfielders. And right now, S2 are playing with 2 academy players up the spine. So they're going to be challenged to really put in the dirty work to grab a hold of this game again. You have Cam Martin, and Milietti. Crucial that they work together as a unit to get a hold of this game. Because right now, S2 is being ran in the midfield, and we called it initially. If you can dominate midfield play, you have the propensity to really dictate the pace of this game.
Briscoe taking up a lot of space here, lays off that ball. Estrada doesn't get hold of it the way he wants. Still more promising stuff, particularly out of Briscoe.
Excellent play by Briscoe. Great weighted ball as well to Estrada to set him up for a first-time opportunity. David definitely wishes he had done better with that, because that was within his range, within his wheelhouse to really make the goalkeeper worry.
And Dave, obviously, the land of woulda, coulda, shoulda is full of would-be champions, but you do have to wonder how differently this match might be going right now if Francisco Narbonne had not had his leg broken on Thursday night, if Ray Sari had not apparently suffered a lower body injury in that first half, requiring him to be subbed off, and the two of them were still capable to contribute at the holding midfield.
All of their success last year was when those two were playing together. What they've done this year, they're the engine room. They're the best 2 defensive midfielders on the team.
75th minute now. Reno leads 2-1. Briscoe moving up the far side. Threadgold chopped down there by Paul Marie. He knows it. He's not going to argue with the referee. He'll take his yellow card, apologize to Threadgold, and be on his way.
Hopiao on that side.
Cut down.
Very good opportunity for Hopiao to get isolated. Thought he had a step on his defender, was brought down, but this leads to a very, very good set-piece opportunity with an in-swinger.
Look at it there. Ball hit toward Hopiao, not Threadgold, as I incorrectly had assumed, and just no argument from Marie. That the 6th yellow card of this competition, including the 2 given to Lindo Mafeke, who was dismissed in the 42nd minute.
Estrada's got a couple of targets up there.
Needs to beat that first defender. You see those 2 players right in front for Reno. Needs to be able to beat those 2, or we need to get an S2 player there to get a flick.
Estrada
Great
toward
ball.
goal, punch from Marcinkowski. And blasted downfield. Swung back in. Big push on Sam Rogers. He's asking for a bit of relief from the referee, but he's not going to get it here.
And what makes Sari and Narbonne so sorely miss is their mentality. To be very honest, their competitive nature, their mentality to win games, to compete, to battle, to scrap. That's what S2 is lacking right now. And I said it in the first half. I knew that it would be a test of their mentality to play on this hot day in a new formation with Narbonne down, going up a goal. They were going to be tested, and right now they're coming up a bit short, but there's still time to regroup and get a result out of this fixture.
Tangle on the near sideline. A couple players wind up on the deck. Head toward Threadgold. Schenkum spins, can't fight his way back to the ball. Marie closed down by Hopiao. Up to Brown, the goal scorer, who put his team on top. And this is Wehan. He has Brown out wide. He'll hit it toward him. Brown, bit of a hitch in his step. Still gets there against Milietti. And Milietti holds his ground. Turn back over to Kasipli. Milietti reaching slide tackle there. Wins the throw-in. Want to keep up with the best social media from around the USL? Join Kelsey Steele every Friday on the USL social media channels for the latest edition of Off the Post.
And your back three has to be very fit because they're going to be called upon a lot. And you see, for me, that coming in as a factor. LA not really closing down space as he once did.
LA being harassed by Felipe there. That draws a free kick.
Not closing down space as he once did with Brown. Brown's making a diagonal run into the channel. He's able to receive it pretty easily, lay the ball off, start his combination play. For me, it's too easy, but that's the vulnerability of a back three.
Well, Brown
will be tested.
Brian Brown had been down and apparently been cramping. Picked up and busted out a 20-yard sprint. There's a substitute waiting with the fourth official for Reno. 79th minute now. Martin wants that quick ball. Hit into the mixer. Briscoe wins the throw-in. And that will lead to the substitution. Brian Brown's day is done, but he may have done enough for his side. As Dan Masovsky comes on. So both sides have used up all three subs, and now can S2 find a way to pull level, up a man, down a goal here with just about 10 minutes left to play. Ulysses moving in here. Estrada wanted to chip that ball in. Masovsky comes away with it. Big tangled players now. This is Chankum. Chankum brought down from behind. Free kick given. As Masovsky came in to get that ball and looks to have cut down Chankum's heel. S2 waving everybody forward now.
Another in-swinger opportunity.
Have a look at the foul here. Little doubt about that one. Estrada goes toward back post looking for Sam Rogers. It's headed away by Carroll. Only as far as Threadgold. Threadgold quickly closed down by Paul Marie. Gets a bit of an edge on him. Marie goes in well with the shoulder.
It's good defending. It's very good defending. Good close down play, not to give up a second opportunity off a set piece.
Paul Marie now has a bit of decoration on his sock, courtesy of the warning track. Yeah, nothing in that, just a good shoulder-to-shoulder battle.
It's dedicated defending there by Marie. Very good.
It's a sliding stop at the wall, but not the kind that you usually see at Cheney Stadium. Flick-on header from Masovsky. Under 10 to go now. Reno daring S2 to come forward and test their lines. Hopiau, Threadgold, Miglietti, Ele, ball in, Chankum bats that down. Estrada toward goal, intercepted on its way in, and left in space for Wehan. LA gets there. Wehan does well to hold up his pass. Hopiau turns, fires on the ground, and it goes out for a deep S2 throw.
We've seen Hopiau and Cork one from that exact spot, so look for him to continue to try to get it on his right foot and drive at the defense.
S2's deepest player right now is Miletti, the defensive midfielder. All the center backs are up.
Throwing in the kitchen sink. I'd imagine John Hutchinson is of a mind that it doesn't matter whether you lose by 1 goal or 2. Ele. Spinning that ball in, finds Chankum. Can he settle it? For Rogers, and Rogers misses over the bar. Marcinkowski will likely be encouraged to put the ball back in play quickly. But everyone who watches this league knows how these things go. Another look at the shot here from Rogers. Takes it first time.
Not a bad effort by the big man. Tried to wrap his foot around it. Left-footed first time.
Be a dramatic way to reintegrate himself into the squad after a lengthy absence for illness. S2 not done yet, though. Chankum using that strength of his to try to hold off his man.
Yeah, Reno just battling. They're definitely outworking S2 right now. They have some more grit and determination to win balls, to challenge, to not give up space, to not let guys turn. Their defensive shape has been very good, and they've shown the ability to break out of it on the counter.
Rogers, wide now for Ulysses. Ulysses cutting inside. Chankum wanted to turn that ball. S2 unable to get their first touch right in those tight corridors. Ilietti, upper Hopiau. Ball here for Ulysses. Flag is up for offside. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 USL season and bonus content from around the league by subscribing to the league's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/USL. Under 5 plus stoppage to go. Sounders 2, still striving here. A pair of defensive failures have cost them dearly at home.
Reno bunkered in deep into their defensive third. It's almost like a training exercise.
S2 trying to batter down the front door.
This happens in your situational play. You practice how to defend a lead with 11 men, with 10 men, and for S2, how to attack with a man advantage as well. These are the situational plays that you practice and train on.
Big switch. Kai Briscoe. First touch lets him down a little bit. Marie gets the ball away. Well, this is the soccer equivalent of a penalty kill in hockey. Reno just content to sit in and knock the ball downfield. I thought you, being a Colorado native, might appreciate that one, James.
I did.
You ever strap on the skates when you were younger?
I wish. No, just been to several Avs games and CC, Colorado College games. But yes, I am a hockey fan.
I bet you spent a lot of time in the box for fighting. Switched out wide. This is Briscoe. Briscoe, a right-footed effort that takes a deflection. Comes to naught. And Weehan does enough to send it downfield, but it's out of play. And now Weehan has come down with a cramp here on this very mild Sunday afternoon in the Pacific Northwest. It's possible that this Reno team is just not accustomed to the Pacific Northwest heat that we get here in July.
Beautiful day.
It's Reno 1868 after the temperature down there, right?
Yeah, but it's a dry heat, Dave. Now S2 will restart with a throw in as time ticks away. Estrada, that one over the head of Sam Rogers. Pretty much every little miss like that just makes it tougher and tougher. Restarted by Marcinkowski. One back by S2. It's the 89th minute. Sounders trail 2-1. Giamilietti carrying forward. Trying the ball over the top. It's Briscoe on a long run, and the ball just a little bit longer.
It's a good thought by the young two players. Good run, good thought. Unlucky it didn't come off.
ECS faithful, as always, getting the crowd into it. Seeing if they can spur the boys on to something magical here in the late moments. S2 win a free kick in their own end.
Rogers is staying up in the forward role now.
We enter the 90th minute. Shankham trying to do battle with Merle. Milietti, Martin. Drops it down the line. Merle has that one curl out of play. S2 will be forced to restart from the proper location. Thrown into Martin. Ball gets beyond Estrada. Musovski gets a touch to this. Gets the edge on Estrada, who is on a yellow card. Ele coming down, he's also on a yellow. Nicked away, Musovski gets a shot off. It's blocked right away. He and Ele do battle. Ele wins out. 5 minutes of added time is what we'll play here at Cheney Stadium. Over hit from LA. Milietti still gets there. Early ball in. Too long for Hopiau. And that one out for a goal kick. Rehan. Hit toward Felipe. Briscoe resets. LA gets the comebacker pass. Up to Hopiau. Looking for Chankham. Chankham can't fight his way to that ball.
Reno's doing an excellent job of reading passing angles. You see there, two guys reading the eyes of Hopiau. So Hopiau has to be able to disguise that entry ball a bit more, where he's looking somewhere else and swivels his hips to play that entry ball. If he's looking where he wants to play it, you see Reno doing a very good job of jumping the passing lanes and intercepting entry balls.
Brown wants to send this in himself. Merle wins the header. Kept it on the near side by Weehan. Weehan is offside on the return ball. Play restarted.
The clock is the enemy.
More hopeful stuff from S2. And an alert Marcinkowski will not be troubled by that at all. Estrada up for Chenkum. Ulysses. LA sends that one in. It's easily dealt with. Brown. He'll lump it forward once more. The final minute of stoppage time. Is there something for S2 in the dying seconds of this game? Another ball, Marcinkowski off his line. He spills it. Ooh. It's loose inside the 6 and cleared away. Gone out for a corner.
Callie Brown coming up.
Keeper coming very high out.
Second corner
and electing
of the game.
To catch instead of punch.
S2 plays short. And they'll win another corner.
When you're coming through that much traffic, you essentially just look to punch it as far away as possible, but looking to catch, spills it. Very unfortunate S2 wasn't there.
Estrada wants to serve this ball. The towering figure of Callie Brown available as an option.
He has to beat that first man, or there needs to be a runner in front to flick it.
Driven ball, it's high up in the air. Brown nearly gets a header to it. It comes loose. Threadgold is there. He'll keep it on the ground to LA. Seconds left now. Threadgold, his efforts blocked. Threadgold toward his left foot. Still on the ball is Threadgold. Referee had the whistle in his mouth. It's LA. Everyone's screaming for the ball. Threadgold to the back post. Headed away. Whistle goes. And Reno 1868 have pulled off a crown jewel in this unbeaten run of theirs. Down a man. They score 2 goals in the second half. 1 from the penalty spot and 1 and an emphatic finish from Brian Brown. And win here at Cheney Stadium 2-1 against Sounders FC2. James, your final thoughts on this 90 minutes?
No, we knew the mentality of S2 was going to be tested today. It was. They came up short, unfortunately, with the goal lead. Credit to Reno. Fantastic team effort to come back in the second half down a man and score 2 goals. I thought they dictated the play in the second half and deserved the win.
Dave, for S2, this now puts them on a 4-game skid. They have not won a match since June 10th when they hosted Oklahoma City Energy, and now they're looking at consecutive road matches at Real Monarchs and at Phoenix Rising. Tough road trips both. What does S2 have to do to get it on the right side of a result?
They're going to have to be better with their possession, particularly having lost both of their holding midfielders to injury this week. They're going to have to possess and not turn the ball over because they're getting killed on the counter, and most of those are starting at the foot of an S2 player making an error. So they have to correct that if they're going to be able to win, and they're going to have to find a solution in the defensive midfield.
So Reno 1868 improves to 9-3-7 this year, unbeaten in their last 15 with 9 wins and 6 draws in that time. Sounders 2 falling to 3-11-2. And like I said, a 4-game skid for them. They will next play at Real Monarchs on July 14th at 7 p.m. Reno heading for a midweek fixture against Los Dos down in Carson, California. And S2 back on the road as well for Phoenix Rising on July 20th, but they'll be back home on July 26th to take on the Las Vegas Lights at 7 p.m., and we will have that match for you here. That's going to do it from us here from Cheney Stadium. Again, your final score, Sounders FC 2-1, Reno 1868-2. For Dave Clark and James Rowley, I'm Andrew Harvey, saying so long, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time here on ESPN+.
Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.